All right, happy Sunday Funday. I did it again. Started this thing without turning on the audio. So anyway, as I was saying, hope everyone had a wonderful Sunday. If you will, give me a quick hello in the chat. Let me know you're here. I'm guessing some of the first comments I'll see are you can't hear you, but hope you had a great Sunday afternoon. Hope it was productive. Whether you got things done, I will. Thanks. All right. So there's not as much lag as I thought. Then you responded pretty quickly when I can hear you, so that's good to know. Um, all right. So now I'm not really sure where I was when I finally realized that I had not turned the volume on. But so I was at one point saying I don't know how long this is going to take. We're going to do a single game tonight. I know I mentioned before that I want to do kind of a move from one thing to the next pretty quickly, kind of a variety show, if you will, with our Sunday Fun Day. But I wasn't ready for that tonight, so we're gonna do one quick game. How long it takes, I have no idea. So it may take as long as normal, or it may take shorter. I'm not sure. Hi, Miss Judy. Thanks for letting me know you can hear me. Glad to know I got the audio switched on at least quick enough to catch most people. Um, so all right, we're gonna play a game of Who Am I? So I'm gonna give you a chance to show how well you can guess these Bible characters by getting just little bits of information at a time. So there'll be three different pieces of information, but you'll get one. I'll let you give some guesses. If you don't know it, you can wait, or if you want to take a shot at it, it's fine. And then I'll give you the second piece of information, and then the third. I will be showing some of the comments on the screen. At least that's my intention as we go along. So as you guess away, I'll be sharing your guess with everyone else. Your guesses, I should say, with everyone else. And so anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started without further ado. First one. Again, getting used to the new controls here. All right. I once used a jawbone. I can't read tonight. I once used a donkey's jawbone as a weapon. I once used a donkey's jawbone as a weapon. Like I say, I'll wait a little bit, get some guesses on that, then I'll show the next one. Don't know how long to wait. I know when I went to check the stream to see how if it was working on my phone, it looked like there was about an 8-second delay, which isn't bad. Um, but I will wait a moment each time. All right, next clue. Um, Again, don't want to give the clues too quickly in case people are trying to type in answers. But next clue, what is? My girlfriend was named Delilah. That might be the one that gives it away for some people. If not, the last one I'm pretty sure will. So I once used a people want to say Dawbones Junkie. All right, Christy is guessing Samson. And the last clue here. I can get the controls going right. I kept my hair long, as I mentioned. That might give it away to a lot of people. And yeah, Christy, you are correct. And Miss Judy's correct too. All right. Miss Judy coming in with Samson as well. Correct answer is Samson. All right. Good job, everybody. Let me move on to the next clue. Apologize for the hesitations here. It's taking me a moment to get used to switching around and finding everything here. All right, new person. Who am I? I live in Bethany. Kind of an obscure clue there, but might get it from that. I live in Bethany. I know what I should have done now. I should have done like a 10-second timer and had the timer run, and then in 10 seconds, I'll give the next clue so everybody knows kind of like here's when the next one is coming. All right, I live in Bethany. I have two sisters. So I live in Bethany, and I have two sisters. Again, as we get further down the clues, they give a little more information. I almost gave the sisters' names on that clue, but I was afraid that might give away too much. And the final clue here, again, trying not to go so fast that the delay doesn't give people a chance to respond. I live in Bethany. I have 2 sisters, and I was dead for 4 days. Anybody know who I am? All right. Either I'm having trouble with the stream and the comments coming in, or no one's guessing on this one. I thought by the last clue, everybody would be all right. I know who that is. All right. I certainly can't rule out technical challenges here. Oh, I think I see what the problem might have been. Christy does give us the right answer here, but she butchers the spelling of the name. Lazarus is correct. Um, so maybe that's why nobody wanted to guess. Miss Judy came in with Lazarus as well. All right. And Miss Judy actually spells it correctly. So we'll give the points to Miss Judy for getting the answer and for spelling it right. All right. Good job. I think I just got a little bit of a delay here getting my answers in. So that makes me feel a lot better. All right. Next question. Who am I? I live with my mother-in-law. Who could that be? Not all that unusual of a fact, I guess. The fact that it's mentioned in Scripture. All right, Christy is. We got Christy guessing here. Christy's going with Ruth. Next clue is I glean fields for food. And Will's going with Ruth as well. So I think everyone has gotten this one already. My husband's name is Boaz. So yes, Miss Judy got Ruth as well. So everybody's going Ruth, and you are all correct. Remember that she lived with her mother-in-law after they returned back to Israel after her husband passed away, and her husband's brother also passed away, and her husband's father had passed away. So it was just her and her mother-in-law. Moved back. She lived with her. She gleaned the fields, and there met her new husband Boaz, and became part of the lineage of Jesus. So, all right, good job on that one. Oops, I forgot to put the answer up there. So yes, that was Ruth. All right, who am I? I caused the Israelites to stray from God. All right, a little bit vague on that one. That I caused the Israelites to stray from God. This is going to be a tough one. At least to me, this one seemed tough. We'll see if you agree or not. Next clue. Give a little bit of time in case somebody wants to make a wild guess right off the bat, just from one obscure fact. I'm a Canaanite god. So we're not talking about a person here. We're talking about a deity, one of what the scriptures referred to as the false gods of the Canaanites. No guesses yet. And last clue, may not help even any more into this one. Then people even sacrifice children to me. And the first answer I see coming in is Christy. I think Christy's answer is coming in faster because we're on the same network. That's my assumption, at least. Either that or she's just really quick on the typing there. Christy's guessing Baal. And Christy, you would be correct. Baal was the name of that god. I thought I might throw you off with that last one because Moloch was actually the god that was mostly known for human sacrifice. But we do know in Jeremiah, when God is accusing the people there of their wrongdoings, he mentions that they built temples to Baal, and for the purpose of offering their sons to him. And God said, I didn't call for that. And That's not anything that would have come from me. So I was Judy. I like Miss Judy's response there. I don't know. I give up on that one. So, all right, good job. Next question. Who am I? I'm a minor prophet. That narrows it down to a handful of people. Remember, the minor prophets are minor only because the size of their writings are smaller than those of the major prophets. Had nothing to do with their title or clout or impact or anything other than that's how we've labeled them in our scriptures to make it easy to sort through some of them. I'm a minor prophet. Next clue. I prophesied during the time of Hosea. So I don't know if you know or not, but that just helped us eliminate one possible contender for this. Hosea also being a minor prophet. We just narrowed the field down a little bit for you in eliminating Hosea, but also in saying that this person and Hosea are contemporaries. They prophesied at the same time. Oh, this would be a fun one. This is one of those that you don't always know. So I'd really stretch you a little bit and see if anybody could look through that list and go, okay, I'm going to go with this person. And I think they prophesied at the same time. And the last clue, still not seeing any responses here yet. I said, let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. Who said that? Not seeing any responses here. Okay, got a couple of question marks here. I didn't see those coming in. Miss Judy going with the question mark. Will's going with a question mark. Christy's going with Joel. And the correct answer is Amos. Amos is the one who prophesied there during the same time as Hosea, and was one of the minor prophets there. Also, that's one of the widely known passages of scripture there from the book of Amos. And so, all right. Oh my goodness, can't seem to get things lined up just right. All right, next question. I think there's another one here. Who am I? I married a non-Jew. Again, kind of a nondescript there, but you're thinking this is about somebody that's a major, a character in the Bible that you might know, who married someone who was not a Jew, which was unusual because the Jews, God had told them not to intermarry with the nations around them or they would pull them away into idolatry. And they didn't obey, and that is exactly what happened. People began to worship these other gods, oftentimes because those were the gods that their wives worshipped, and they let their wives do what they wanted to. I'm sure it went the other way as well, but it's described in Scripture as men marrying women and then following after the gods that their wives worshipped. All right, next clue. My uncle is Mordecai. So now you get a name. Now you can see if you can pull this story out. Okay, where did I know Mordecai from? If you're a big VeggieTales fan, you probably already know this story then. This is one of my favorite VeggieTale renditions of a Bible story of this person's life. Still no guesses yet. All right. Last clue. Oh, Miss Judy got it. Misspelled it, but that's okay. I know what you're saying. Esther. I almost said the way you said. God used me to save my people from mass destruction. And yes, the correct answer is Esther. So good job there, Miss Judy. I was about to give up that anybody would have it. I would have left the last clue up there longer, but she had already guessed it there. So, all right, yeah. So remember the story of Esther. She was away in captivity. The king had just killed his queen because she didn't obey him, and he decided to find a new queen. And God put her in a position where she was chosen to be the next queen, and so she was then married to this Persian king. And God used that whole situation, that whole scenario, obviously put her in that position as a way to save them from basically a genocide. One of Mordecai's advisors was wanting to rid the land of any Jews that lived there, and had convinced him to create this law that would allow them to kill all of the Jews that lived in that kingdom, that country there. And Esther was able to throw a feast for the king, kind of turn the tables on the guy that was trying to do that to the Jews. Her uncle Mordecai was helping her, giving her encouragement and along the way, and God used her in a mighty way to save who knows how many thousands of lives there from mass destruction. All right. That's all of our who am I's. I thought it might be a little shorter, but I want to think for a second about that idea of who we are. You know, all these characters we look at, we know them by the things that they did. And that's kind of it's okay, because that's how we study the Bible. We read stories and we learn about the characters, and even in Sunday school and children's church and VBS, we always have these games and we learn the facts and we repeat them. But it's kind of unfortunate in a way, because these people are not what they did. Esther is not made up simply of what she did there and what she accomplished. She was actually just someone who God loved. She was someone who God was working in her life, and she allowed God to work in her life. And I want us to think about that in terms of our lives. We are not what we do. In fact, the Bible describes us as sons and daughters of God. The passage this morning that we looked at there from the book of Hebrews, where it said that Jesus, who was the who made everything was made for, and who made everything, decided to make us sons, to call us brethren, to bring us into a family relationship. And that is who we need to see ourselves as. Not as, well, I'm the person that does this, or I'm the person that always messes that up, or I'm the person that never does this, but I know I should do that. We find all these things to identify ourselves as, and God says, when I see you, I see sons and daughters. I see people that I care about more than anything else in the world. In John, in First John, John's writing this letter here and to the other believers, and he says, "Behold, what manner of love the Father has bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore, the world knoweth us not, because it knew Him not." That's what I want you to think about this week: is you are a child of God. When He sees you, He doesn't see the things you do; He sees His child. He goes on to say in verse 2, "Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when He shall appear, we shall be like Him, for we shall see Him as He is." John's saying, we don't know yet what we're going to be like. We don't know when Christ comes back. There's all these questions around what are we going to be like. I mean, obviously, He talks about our bodies resurrecting and joining to meet us in the air as we come back with Christ, if we've already passed away by that time. And if we haven't, if we're still living here on earth when He does that, then we'll come up in the air to meet them as well. And there's all these questions about what are we going to be like. And John says, it doesn't yet appear what we shall be. We don't know exactly all these details about what we're going to be like at that time. But what we do know is that we'll be like Him, for we shall see Him as He is. He says, all we really know is right now, we're His children. Right now, we are the object of His affection. And I want to read these same two verses to you from a different translation, just to kind of give you a fresh perspective on it, a fresh look at it, because you probably heard it before in that King James translation that I just read to you. But I want to read it to you from the Christian Standard Bible. I think it kind of gives us a new way of looking at it, kind of mixes it up a little bit for us. And this version says, "See what great love the Father has given us, that we should be called God's children." And we are. I love that. He says, how amazing is that we should be called His children, and yet that's what we are. He says, the reason the world does not know us is that it didn't know Him. If you don't seem to fit in this world, if you don't seem to find your place, it's because this world isn't our home. This world isn't what we were created for. We are in Him. We are sons and daughters of God. And because the world didn't recognize Him, it doesn't quite get us either. He's going to say, dear friends, we are God's children now. And what we will be has not yet been revealed. We know that when He appears, we'll be like Him because we will see Him as He is. Now, it's not as different in that translation there for the second verse. But He says, we don't know what we're going to be, but we know right now we're God's child. So who am I? Who are you? We are children of God. I hope that encourages you this week. I hope you go out this week ready to go. You know what? I may have a lot of things about me I don't like, a lot of things I want to change, a lot of things I wish were different. But I know one thing: I am God's child, and I am loved by Him. What great love He's bestowed upon me! He's given me more than I deserve. That should be our approach to the world. That should be our approach to life: is that we are His children, and because of that, we can make it through whatever. Hope you have a wonderful week. I hope this short game time has been kind of encouraging and fun for you. And I want to ask you to do me a favor for next week. If you're going to be attending Sunday Funday next week, I need you to send me a couple of selfies. I need everybody to do that, if you will. Send them this week. You can send them through Facebook Messenger. You can send me a text message. You can call me and say, hey, give me a link to upload to. However, the easiest way for you to get a picture of me is, that's fine. But I want you to send me some selfies. It doesn't have to be taken this week. It can be some of your favorites from the past. Or maybe you can take it, maybe you want to take it this week. But I want some selfies from you for next week's game because we're going to need that. So that's your challenge for next week. Send me a couple of selfies for each person. And I love you all. And I hope you have a wonderful week. If I can do anything for you this week, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I love you, and I will talk to you soon.